Hey guys, welcome back to Stationery Fetishist, your favorite show on YouTube, obviously. Now, I just wanted to fill you guys in on my most recent acquisitions. Went to the thrift store recently and obtained a haul, hashtag haul as we call it on the YouTube. So let's get into it. All right, so first off, the first thrift store that I hit up, I came across this bundle of, well, they're used, but that's still cool. We got some Staedtler pencils. Now, in my previous video, you'll know, of course, that I also made an acquisition of some vintage Staedtler pencils. However, those are an earlier vintage than these ones here. These I would date probably to, I would say, the late 90s, early 2000s, and of course you can tell that by the barcode here. It's one of the indications. They did not have that on previous iterations of this pencil, the Staedtler Mars Lumograph. Very, very famous pencil for draftspeople, artists, etc. So as you can see, I've got a few varieties here. This one is a 6B, but I've got all sorts here. I've got some in the H range, which, as you know, are a harder pencil. This one here is a 4H, quite hard. Now, if I had some foresight, I would have got a piece of paper so we could demonstrate as I did last time. But I guess it's not too late. Why don't I just go over to my desk and I'll just grab a piece of paper so we can demonstrate this as I say. Okay, so I'm back. Thank you. Oh, I just dropped something. Okay, so I'm back. Thank you for your patience there with me. This is just kind of a last-minute idea I had to film this morning. So I wasn't as prepared as I could have been. However, whatever. Okay, so I've got my little jotting pad there. So, as I was saying, this is a 4H pencil, which is rather hard. Now, if you can see, it produces a very fine line. Very fine. However, it is not too dark. Now, also in this selection here, I've got, if that will focus, I've got an 8B pencil, which is probably the softest pencil that I have come across in my career. So let's give that one a try, beside the 4H there. Now, if you'll see that, produces a much darker line. Now, feeling this right now, the way it draws, it feels actually almost like a charcoal pencil. If you're not aware, I'm sure you are, the way they vary the softness is basically the softer the pencil, the less clay is combined with the graphite, and the harder, the more clay. So this one will have a minimal amount of clay, and therefore it gives a darker line and feels, to me, more like a charcoal pencil, kind of a gritty feel while you're drawing with it. So that's that. Now also in this selection here, I've got this one, which, let's see if we can pull that up. Oh, it's backwards. Oh, that's interesting. The text is arranged in an opposite manner. Can you see that? The text on the pencil shaft is reversed. One goes to the point is on the right, and the point is on the left. That's interesting. I wonder what made them decide to do that. Anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked by minutia, as they say. So back to this one. This one is called Staedtler Mars Non-Print. So I believe this was used back in the day if you were doing a rough up of a design or something. You could do the outline with this, and then it wouldn't photograph with the camera when you were getting your artwork print ready. Now it's quite a fine line. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a purple tinge, which I guess will not, I guess whatever film they were using in the graphic design back in the old days was not sensitive to this particular color, or something along those lines. Feel free to fill me in down in the comments below if you have more of a thorough knowledge than I do of vintage practices in the graphic arts. However, I just found this was interesting. You don't come across these that often. And when you do, I feel like they're usually like a blue as opposed to a purple color. So that'd be interesting to find out what's the difference between the two. Is it two different kinds of film or something, which you would choose the pencil based on which type of film you're using, perhaps? I really don't know. Be interesting to find out for sure. So if anyone does know, please again just leave me a comment down below. All right, so that was my first haul from the thrift store. So next one, this is very, very special. This is a box of Sanford Murado pencils. We've got 12 HB pencils. Now, what's interesting, as you can see, is they're still in the original box. So let's take a look at that first of all. It says they're the world's smoothest writing pencil, and maybe we'll put that to the test in a little bit here. So it says, if you can read that, cedar pencils, premium, made in the USA. Now these ones, unlike the Staedtler Mars Lumograph, they do have an eraser attached to them. I don't know, maybe that's a North American thing. Maybe in Europe they don't really attach the erasers to the pencils. So let's take a look here. And as you can see, these are all unused, unsharpened. And I do notice something here. Do you notice? One of them is not the same as the others. So what do we got here? Okay, so this is a Staples HB pencil. I've never really used one of these before. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess so the previous owner must have used one out of this package and just replaced it with this Staples one. It's interesting. So let's take a look at one of these Murado pencils here. Just allow that to focus. Can take some time to focus. So I'm not sure if you can read that, but it says Sanford Murado USA HB2. And it's got a nice red band around the ferrule there. And pink eraser, standard North American kind of yellow pencil, really. So that was an interesting thing to come across. I was chuffed to bits, as they say in England. Now, I have actually purchased these pencils back when I was a student in the early 2000s, which is when I would date these pencils too. So I have one here that I've kept for all those years. Now I've started to sharpen it, so let's sharpen this one to a point and then we can see how it actually writes, if it really is the world's smoothest writing pencil. So I've got my sharpener here. It's a Luss, made in Italy. So let's just bring this up to a point. Now this sharpener, the blade may be a little on the dull side. May need to replace that. Alright, so I've got a satisfactory point there anyway. Let's see how it writes. Now I have to say, I don't find that... I don't know if I believe the hype now that I'm drawing with it. Let's see here, we've got an HB Stadler. You know what? The Stadler is smoother. You know what? That's fake news. Fake news right there. Well, I don't know if fake news was a thing back when these were created, but you know what? That Stadler pencil, it's smoother. No doubt about it. It's smoother. Now, to be fair, the Murado is not that bad. It's not that bad. But it really is not, as they say right here, if you can read that, the world's smoothest writing pencil. Alright, so that's it for my most recent stationery haul. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, of course, I say it every time, like the video, ring the bell, subscribe, and do everything like that that you can. Subscribe, Patreonize me, and etc., etc., etc. All right, take it easy, guys.